Yo, what's good, fam? Your boy Inko back with another story that's gonna hit different today. Real talk, this one is deep. This one is about something we all deal with, how we react to life, how we carry pain, and how we can finally let go. So get comfortable, turn off the distractions, and let me tell you about a dude named Thomas and the stones he carried. Trust me, by the end of this story, you're gonna see your own life differently. Let's dive in. The problem we all face. Have you ever noticed how one small moment can change your whole day? Like you wake up feeling good, vibes are right, everything's cool, and then boom, one comment, one look, one rude word, and suddenly your heart feels heavy, bro. Your mind becomes noisy, you lose control of your emotions, you start thinking about what they said, replaying it over and over in your head. You get angry, you get sad, you feel disrespected. It happens to all of us. I don't care who you are, rich, poor, young, old, everybody goes through this. And many times, check this out, we lose the situation not because of what happened, but because of how we reacted. That's the key word right there, reacted. But here's something crazy, something many people never learn in their whole life. The one who controls his reaction controls the moment. The one who stays calm inside wins the situation outside. You feel me? It's not about being the loudest or the toughest. It's about being the calmest. That's real strength right there. Today's story is going to show you how a person can stay calm in difficult moments, how to keep control inside your heart and mind, how to walk through any situation with quiet strength. And listen, my friend, stay with me until the end, because at the end of this story, I'm going to share a simple daily practice, something small, quiet, and gentle that can help you release the emotional stones you carry in your heart. So you ready? Let's go. Meet Thomas. Once upon a time, in a quiet village between soft green hills, there lived a young man named Thomas. Now, Thomas was strong in his body. I'm talking muscles, height, physical strength, but weak in his heart. And I don't mean weak in courage. Nah, Thomas was brave, but he was weak in peace, weak in calmness, weak in emotional control. Thomas reacted to everything. If someone spoke harshly to him, Thomas answered harshly back. If someone pushed him, Thomas pushed back harder. If someone insulted him, Thomas carried that insult for days, sometimes weeks, sometimes months. People in the village said he was angry. They would whisper, "Oh, there goes angry Thomas, don't mess with him." But in truth, he wasn't angry, he was just tired. Tired of the heavy feeling inside him, tired of the pain he couldn't explain, tired of the weight he carried but couldn't see. You see, Thomas had this thing he did without even realizing it. Every time someone hurt him with words or actions, he imagined it as a stone, a literal stone. And without noticing, without thinking about it, he picked up that stone and put it into an invisible bag he carried on his back. The bag became heavier each week, each month, each year. One stone for every insult, one stone for every lie someone told about him. One stone for every betrayal, one stone for every disappointment. Pretty soon, that bag was full of stones, bro. Heavy stones, sharp stones, painful stones. Soon, Thomas walked with a bent back and a gloomy face. His shoulders were always down. His eyes were always tired. He no longer saw the beautiful colors of the village, the green trees, the blue sky, the yellow flowers. He no longer enjoyed the warm morning sun on his face. His world felt dark, even on bright days. Even when the sun was shining, Thomas only saw darkness, because the darkness wasn't outside, it was inside him, in his heart, in his mind. Sad, right? The journey begins. One cold morning, Thomas woke up and couldn't take it anymore. He looked at himself in the mirror and barely recognized who he saw. He felt suffocated by the weight he carried. He said to himself, "I need fresh air. I need to clear my mind. I need to get away from this place for a while." So he made a decision. He decided to climb the mountain path behind the village. Maybe up there, high above everything, he could find some peace. Maybe he could think clearly. Maybe the weight would feel lighter. So Thomas started walking up the mountain path. The road was quiet, peaceful. The sky was pale blue. Birds rested on thin branches. A small wind moved through the tall grass, making a soft whistling sound. It was beautiful, you know, the kind of scene that should make you feel good. But the bag on Thomas's back was so heavy that every step hurt. His legs ached, his back ached, his whole body felt the weight of those stones. He was breathing hard, struggling, almost ready to give up and turn back. But then something happened. The wise merchant. After walking for about an hour, Thomas noticed another traveler coming up the path from the opposite direction. It was a thin, old merchant. He was old, you could see the gray in his hair and the wrinkles on his face, but there was something different about him. He was carrying a small bundle of goods on a simple rope over his shoulder, but his steps were light, like he was carrying nothing at all. The merchant's face was gentle, peaceful. He had this soft smile on his face, and he was humming an old tune, enjoying the journey, enjoying the morning. Thomas watched him approach and felt confused. How is this old man walking so easily while I, a young, strong man, can barely move? When the old merchant reached Thomas, he stopped. He bowed politely, showing respect, and said with a kind voice, "My young friend, you look weary. You look exhausted. Your load seems heavier than your strength." Thomas sighed deeply, the kind of sigh that comes from deep pain. He said, Yes, I am tired. I carry many stones." The merchant looked at the large bag on Thomas's back and raised his eyebrows with curiosity. "Stones?" he asked. "What kind of stones?" Thomas slowly, carefully opened the bag a little bit so the old man could see inside. Inside were stones of many shapes and colors. Large stones, small stones, smooth stones, sharp stones, dark stones, light stones, all different but all heavy. Thomas said quietly, almost ashamed, "These are the stones people threw at me. Their insults, their lies, their harsh words, their betrayals. I pick them up and keep them. I cannot throw them away. They belong to me now. They're part of me." The merchant looked at Thomas with calm, wise eyes, eyes that had seen much in life, eyes that understood. He asked gently, "And why do you keep them, my son? Why do you carry them?" Thomas looked down at the ground. He felt tears starting to form in his eyes. He whispered, "I don't know. I don't really know why. I only know that when someone hurts me, I feel it so deeply, so intensely that I must hold on to it. It feels wrong to just let it go. It feels like I'm disrespecting myself if I don't hold on to it." The merchant smiled softly, not a mocking smile, not a judging smile, a compassionate smile, a smile that said, "I understand." He said, I see your pain, young man. Then come, walk with me for a while. Let us continue up this path together."
The lesson begins. So they continued up the mountain path together, two travelers, one young and heavy, one old and light. After walking for a short time, the merchant suddenly stopped. He bent down slowly and picked up two small stones from the ground. They were about the same size, about the same weight. He held them in his thin, wrinkled hands. "Look at these stones," the merchant said. "These stones are the same, yes? Similar size, similar weight." Thomas nodded. Then the merchant placed one stone carefully on the path, right there on the ground. He took the other stone and handed it to Thomas. "Now look closely," the merchant said with a teaching voice, "and listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you." He pointed to the stone on the ground. "The one who hurt you, the person who insulted you, the person who betrayed you, the person who spoke harsh words, they are like this stone on the ground. They threw their words at you and then walked away. Their stone lies here now, forgotten by them. They do not carry it. They do not think about it. They feel nothing. They moved on with their life. They probably forgot about you 5 minutes after they hurt you." Thomas stared at the stone on the ground, really thinking about these words. Then the merchant lifted Thomas's hand, the hand holding the other stone. But this stone in your hand, this is your reaction. You chose to pick it up. You chose to hold it. You chose to carry it. And so your journey becomes heavy, painful, exhausting. While the one who hurt you, they continue walking lightly through life. They're free, and you're trapped. The merchant paused, letting the words sink in deep. Then he continued softly but powerfully. Your reaction is your burden, my son, not their action, not their words, not what they did. Your reaction. You added the weight to your own journey. You chose to suffer. They didn't force you to carry these stones. You picked them up yourself. These words struck Thomas like quiet thunder inside his heart. Boom! It was like lightning hit his mind, and suddenly he could see clearly for the first time in years. He suddenly felt the truth. He suddenly understood. All these years, he had been collecting stones that didn't even belong to him. He had been punishing himself for other people's actions. He had been carrying their garbage. His hand started shaking. He looked at the small stone in his palm. Such a small stone, but it represented so much pain, so much weight, so much suffering. Slowly, Thomas opened his fingers and dropped the small stone from his hand. It fell into the dust with a soft sound. Thud. For a moment, they both stood there in silence, watching that stone on the ground, just sitting there, harmless, powerless. Thomas felt something shift inside his chest. A small release, like a tiny bit of pressure, disappeared. The release. "How do I stop carrying them?" Thomas whispered, his voice breaking with emotion. "How do I let go of all these stones? I've been carrying them for so long, I don't even know how to walk without them." The old merchant smiled warmly. He touched the heavy bag on Thomas's back, gently, like a father touches his son, and he said, "Leave each stone where it falls, my son. Let it return to the earth where it belongs. Let your heart grow light again. You were not born to carry other people's darkness. You were born to be free." Thomas's eyes grew wet with tears, real tears, the kind of tears that come from deep inside, from a place that's been hurting for a long time. His hands shook as he slowly, carefully opened his bag, the bag he had been carrying for years. The merchant nodded gently, giving silent permission, saying without words, "Yes, it's okay. It's time. Release them." One by one, Thomas began to take stones out of the bag. He picked up a large, dark stone, the time his best friend betrayed him, and placed it gently on the ground. Gone. He took another stone, the harsh words his father spoke to him years ago, and let it roll away down the hill. Gone. Another stone, the teacher who humiliated him in front of the class, placed on the ground. Gone. Another stone, the girl who broke his heart, rolled away. Gone. Stone after stone after stone. Some he placed gently on the ground with care, like saying goodbye to old pain. Others he threw forcefully down the hill, releasing anger and frustration. With every stone he released, a small pressure left his chest. His breath became softer, easier, deeper. His shoulders rose a little bit, straightened a little bit. The mountain path grew quieter. The world seemed clearer. The colors seemed brighter. And for the first time in many, many months, maybe even years, Thomas looked up at the sky and actually saw it, really saw it. The beautiful blue, the soft clouds, the endless space. He felt the wind on his face and actually felt it, not just physically, but emotionally. He felt alive again. Tears rolled down his cheeks, but they weren't sad tears anymore. They were tears of relief, tears of freedom. The old merchant watched with a gentle smile, not saying anything, just being present. When Thomas finished, when the bag was finally empty, He stood up straight for the first time in years. His back didn't hurt, his shoulders felt light, his heart felt open. He looked at the merchant and said, thank you for showing me the truth." The merchant bowed. "I only showed you what you already knew deep inside. Now remember this lesson, practice it, live it, and your life will change." Then the old merchant continued up the mountain path, humming his tune again, disappearing slowly into the distance. Thomas stood there alone with his empty bag, feeling lighter than he had felt in years. The transformation. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. Thomas returned to his village, but he was different now, completely different. He practiced the lesson every single day. He practiced leaving stones behind each time someone tried to hurt him. When a villager spoke roughly to him at the market, Thomas didn't react immediately. Instead, he stayed quiet for a moment. He took a deep breath and he asked himself, "Do I want to carry this stone?" Most of the time, he said no. He watched the stone fall to the ground in his mind and walked away free. When someone insulted him, same thing. He paused, he breathed, and he asked, "Is this mine to carry?" No, let it fall. When someone tried to provoke him, to make him angry, to get a reaction, he smiled calmly and said nothing, because he understood now. Their words were their stones, not his. His steps became lighter every day. His mind became clearer. His heart grew warm again, like ice melting in the spring sun. And soon, something beautiful happened, something Thomas never expected. With no heavy bag weighing him down, with no stones blocking his vision, Thomas could finally see the world around him again. He saw the green leaves dancing in the wind. He heard the small river singing its song. He noticed the faces of children playing in the street, their pure joy and laughter. He saw the smiles of strangers and smiled back. The path of his life felt open again, wide, full of possibilities, full of light, and the old merchant's words stayed with him forever, like a tattoo on his soul. Your reaction is your burden. People in the village started to notice the change in Thomas. They said, "What happened to him? He's different now. He's peaceful. He's calm. He's free." Some people who used to provoke him tried again, but Thomas didn't react. He just smiled and walked away. And you know what? Those people got bored and stopped trying because Thomas took away their power by refusing to carry their stones. The lesson for us. Now, my friend, let me break this down for you. What's the real lesson here? What should we take from Thomas's story? Here's the truth. We all carry stones. Every single person watching this right now has a bag of stones they're carrying. Maybe you don't realize it, but it's there. That comment someone made about your appearance? Stone. That time someone betrayed your trust? Stone. That moment someone embarrassed you in public? Stone. That relationship that ended badly? Stone. That family member who criticized your dreams? Stone. We collect these stones without even noticing, and before we know it, we're walking through life bent over, tired, heavy, unable to enjoy the beautiful things around us. But here's what Thomas learned and what we need to learn. Your reaction is your choice. You can't control what other people do. You can't control what they say. You can't control their actions, their words, their intentions. But you can control your reaction. You can control whether you pick up that stone or leave it on the ground. When someone is rude to you, you have two choices. Choice 1, pick up the stone.
Choice 1, pick up the stone. Carry it. Think about it all day. Get angry. Get hurt. Let it ruin your mood, your day, maybe even your week. Choice 2, see the stone, recognize it, and leave it on the ground. Let them carry their own negativity. Walk away light and free. Which choice sounds better? Obviously, choice 2, right? But why do we keep choosing choice 1? Why do we keep picking up stones? Sometimes it's ego. We think, I can't let them disrespect me like that. Sometimes it's pride. We think, I need to defend myself. Sometimes it's just habit. We've been doing it so long, we don't know any other way. But I'm telling you right now, letting go is not weakness. Walking away is not cowardice. Staying calm is not defeat. In fact, it's the opposite. It's the strongest thing you can do, because it takes more strength to stay calm than to react. It takes more power to let go than to hold on. Now, like I promised at the beginning, let me share a simple daily practice, something you can start doing today that will change your life if you do it consistently. Here it is. Tonight, before you sleep, sit quietly for just 1 minute, just 60 seconds. Place your hand on your chest, right over your heart. Now think of one moment from today that still feels heavy. Maybe someone said something rude. Maybe you felt embarrassed. Maybe you were disappointed by something. Maybe someone let you down. Whatever it is, bring it to your mind. Now imagine that painful moment as a stone in your hand. Visualize it. See it clearly. What color is it? What shape? How heavy does it feel? Then whisper softly to yourself, out loud or in your mind, say this: "This stone is not mine. I release it." Take a slow, deep breath in, hold it for a second, then breathe out slowly. As you breathe out, imagine placing that stone on the ground. See it leave in your hand. Watch it fall. Hear the sound it makes. Let it stay there on the ground. Let it belong to yesterday, not to you. Let it be done. Do this every night, every single night. Make it a ritual. Make it a practice. It will lighten your heart little by little. It will clear your mind. And slowly, gently, day by day, you will feel free again. I'm serious about this, fam. This simple practice can change your life if you commit to it. Final truth. Let me leave you with this final truth, something we all need to remember. We cannot choose what others do. We can't control their actions, their words, their behavior, but we can always choose what we carry. Always. Your reaction is the quiet force that shapes your path. One calm choice can save a whole day. One released stone can free your heart. And when you stop holding every hurtful word, when you stop collecting every negative moment, you finally see how light your life can be. Peace doesn't come from others, my friend. Peace doesn't come from the world being nice to you. Peace doesn't come from everyone treating you right. Peace begins the moment you decide not to pick up the stone. That's it. That's the whole lesson. Stop picking up stones. Leave them where they fall. Walk away light, walk away free, and watch how your life transforms. Watch how your heart opens again. Watch how joy returns. Watch how you start seeing beauty again. Thomas learned this lesson, and today you learned it too. Now the question is, will you practice it? Will you actually do it? Or will you just hear this story and go back to carrying stones? The choice is yours, my friend. Closing. Yo, if this story touched your heart, if it made you think, if you felt something real, do me a favor right now. Hit that like button. Seriously, smash it. Let me know this resonated with you. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Maybe you know someone who's carrying heavy stones right now. Send it to them. Help them find freedom. And subscribe to Inco English channel for more stories like this. Stories that bring peace, strength, clarity, and wisdom to your life. I drop these stories regularly, fam. Real wisdom, real lessons, real talk. Until the next story, my friend, remember this: walk lightly, react wisely, release the stones, and most importantly, your reaction is your power. This is your boy Inco signing off. Peace and love.